stuff you like, you can still call me Ursa, and it's a really good time to be Joss Whedon at the moment. But let's go back in time, to 2005, to Serenity, the big damn movie, and a topic Joss Whedon is absolutely fascinated by. He loves this subject like he loves similes that aren't really similes, because it comes up over and over and over again. The power of individuals to change structure. Joss Whedon loves his characters changing the social or mystical structure of the world in which they live, but I'm getting ahead of myself. What is at the heart of story? What does every story need? Well, easy. Conflict. There is no plot without conflict, nothing to drive the characters forward or force them to change. And characters interacting with the world and changing is story, otherwise it's just a bunch of people wandering around talking. Dull. This agent versus structure conflict can be found everywhere from Star Wars to the Hunger Games. But we're going to need some background, so let's get philosophical. And sociological. A big debate in sociology is agency versus structure, where agency refers to the capacity of individuals to act independently and to make their own free choices.
We're gonna drink some Jack Daniels.
Whereas structure refers to those factors like social class or gender or geographical location that seem to limit or influence the opportunities that individuals have.
Wait, why can't we have a Jack's?
You had a nervous breakdown due to the stress of Nerd Quest?
Oh yeah, that does make sense.
And so now you're in a mental institution and they don't allow alcohol. See? Structure imposing its will on free agents.
But at the same time, this does look like my house.
Yeah. Actually, you're just, dreaming.
I hate it when she does that. Why is there a camera in my ceiling?
Is there a problem?
No, nothing. There's just a camera in my ceiling and... Who the hell are you?
Anyway, the question is, how much control do you really have over your life? To what extent can you make choices and then impose those choices on the world? Are we as free as we choose to be? Is structure just a convenient abstraction? Or is every choice we make and action we take determined by structure? Is free will really just an illusion? I don't think either is entirely correct, but you'll have your own opinion. Regardless, Joss Whedon would like to tell you that you can work to change the structure of the world you live in. Or just to break it. We may be small and comparatively weak as agents or small groups of agents, but we are David and what we fight is Goliath. Remember how that one turned out, there may be a test later. The question of agency in the guise of destiny also comes up a lot in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy ends with one girl in all the world because some old men thousands of years ago said that's how it had to be, changed to every potential Slayer is now fully superpowered up. This is subversion of their destiny and of the imposed structure. They're giving free choice to people who may abuse it because them having the choice is better than the alternative. The question of destiny also comes up in Thor, which is not a Joss Whedon film but does precede the Avengers Assemble, where the major villain is Loki, who is Frost Giant by blood but Asgardian by adoption. And this biology versus upbringing conflict turns him into a crazy person. Crazy like a fox perhaps, but crazy nonetheless. Joss Whedon's other statement on the power of the individual versus the power of structure? Firefly. Specifically, Serenity. Where spoilers?
Somebody has to speak for these people. A year from now, 10, they'll swing back to the belief that they can make people better. And I do not hold to that.
Where is the line between keeping yourself safe and your wider responsibility drawn? In The Hunger Games, Katniss is caught in the horns of a dilemma in the second book. Whose safety can you guarantee? Do you keep your sister or your mother or your best friend or your not boyfriend safe? Or do you go after the corrupt government who are making everyone unsafe? And if you do, what will the outcome of that be? If it's your own death, then that's one thing, but what if it's the deaths of people who are close to you? What if your choices cause the deaths of people you don't even know? Mal wants his crew to be safe, but ultimately that means putting them in danger and getting some of them killed so that the world in which they live can be a safer place.
I mean to live.
Anyway. So the plot of Serenity revolves around River and Mal, both of whom are broken and both of whom are searching for agency. Mal is broken because he fought against the Alliance in the Civil War and lost. Horribly. His choices are massively constrained by this and by his refusal to play nice with the structure he hates. River was a budding genius until the Alliance took her into their special school and broke her brain to make her into a weapon. weapons have no agency. The Alliance is the structure they fight against. And why do they fight against it?
We meddle. People don't like to be meddled with. We tell them what to do, what to think. We're in their homes and in their heads, and we haven't the right. We're meddlesome.
Of course, meddling is a pretty tame way of describing what they've done to River's brain. She's a mind-reading, brainwashed assassin, and she is crazy as a loon because of it. Her brother broke her out of the facility she was being kept in, and now they're on the run, being kept safe-ish, mostly, by the crew of Serenity. The people who programmed River want her back. And if they don't want her back, then they want her dead, because she half knows a secret which could bring down the government.
Miranda.
The crew of Serenity, who I exhaustively detailed in Firefly season, so you should totally go watch those episodes, end up fighting the government, secret operatives, cannibals, their own unresolved sexual tension. Serenity is an awesome movie. For a fuller summary of it, and a proper review, you should go watch Cheapus's take on it. See? Helpful. Anyway, here's the agency versus structure conundrum. The Alliance are the structure, and a massively prescriptive structure at that. The closer to the central planets you get, the shinier everything appears on the surface. Everything is wonderful, wonderful and lovely. But something is rotten in the state of Denmark. The agents of change are Mal and River and the whole Serenity crew. They don't really want to start a revolution.
I just want to go my way.
Not at the beginning, they just want to be safe. They just want the government to stop chasing them. But by the end of the movie, they're risking their own lives for the sake of the truth being told. Because the powers that be are accountable to no one and nothing, and they have done some bad things. And the crew choose to change the world rather than just letting it be. The great shocking discovery of Serenity is that the Reavers who, and I quote here, "If they take the ship, they'll rape us to death, eat our flesh, and sew our skins into their clothing. And if we're very, very lucky, they'll do it in that order." They're not monsters. They're not men gone mad on the edge of space. They were ordinary people once, and then the Alliance decided to make the population more peaceful.
It's the Pax. The G23 Paxylon hydrochloride that we added to the air processors. It was supposed to calm the population, weed out aggression.
There was nothing wrong with the people the Alliance experimented on. But it would be nice if they were more compliant, so screw the Hippocratic Oath, let's try this.
The people here stopped fighting. And then they stopped everything else.
Yeah. Serenity is a story about many things, but it's a story about the corruption of structure and the power of individual agents to change the world most of all. And this theme, which Joss Whedon is so fond of, can be found everywhere. From Firefly to A Knight's Tale to Buffy to Terminator to Star Wars to The Hunger Games, we love stories about changing the structure. We love stories about one person or a small group of people standing up against faceless bureaucracies and corrupt governments. We love our David versus Goliath stories, and in the stories, Goliath always loses. David always wins. And David, or in this case, Mal, has to win because Goliath triumphing would be the status quo. And the triumph of the status quo is a whole other kind of story. Usually the kind of story where aliens from another world are invading and trying to kill us all. In the end, River and Mal are more free than they were before. River has exorcised her demons and is now something approaching sane rather than completely bat-fracked, and Mal has wreaked the kind of destruction on the Alliance that they have wreaked on him. Justice has been served, after a fashion, and almost everyone benefits. Serenity is an awesome story about the triumph of the individual conscience over the faceless corporation. Anyway, that's the end of my 50th episode, so I will see you in a week or two for something completely different. I don't know what, but it'll be cool.